Yeah, hi. So in last video we created a SQLite table and SQLite database. So in this video we are going to see how to create a data source. Okay, in data layers. So we are going to create a data source to process this data. So just create a new group, data source. Okay, inside data source we can have a subfolder if you have many data source and data source implementations, all those things. But for now we don't have anything. We have only one data source and data source implementation and repository implementation. So we'll just create a one file, home data source, home's data source. Home data source is a protocol home data source. So whatever the method we are going to use in our UI or in our that home screen, we are going to write it over here. Okay, we are going to create a protocol func add note. So here note is to notes. Okay, that's the same thing for update note. So everything will async function and return. This will be int 64, and this also async function, this also int 64. Then function get all nodes. Okay, there is no input but async function only, and return will be list of nodes. Okay, so next one also the same, the function name only will be different, completed nodes. Okay, so we created a data source, actually data source protocol. So now we are going to implement the data source. Okay, so we'll create another one file. This file should be data source import. So whatever the thing we created over here, the data source we are going to implement over here. Okay, so and we need to create this one also a singleton class as a static variable. So class home data implementation extends home data source. Okay, so then this one, right? So this one, if you implement this, it needs to give correct. Okay, so it is giving error. So what we are going to do it in this place, right? So this place we are going to return it from the table. Okay, whatever we are doing in the node table, right? From the table, all the things are we are going to do it over here. Okay, so let's create one so static where shared, we can have it as let also. Let's see, is equal to home data source import. Okay, there is no in passing parameter. Okay, so we can directly do it like this. So here we are going to take let node table. So node table we are taking as a static variable from the node table dot shared. Okay, so now we got the singleton class of node table. So this node table we can add the, so return await node dot insert. Okay, insert node. Okay, the same for this update. Here the function will be update. Okay, same for get all nodes. Okay, so the same for get completed nodes. Okay, good. So we have a home data implementation right now. So what else you can do it over here, right? So in data source, you can add whatever the database side complication. So I am still saving that one in local database. So if we have any API operations or API calls before this, So we can process also that one in over here, and we can do it in a database, insert and local database. After finishing API, we need to process those things over here. Okay, so sometimes if you have any minute core operation, you can do it in the data source application. So now we'll go and see how we can create the repositories over here. Repositories in a domain layer. Repositories will be a domain layer function. Okay, so in domain layer we have two things. One is repository and use cases. Okay, repositories, use case. Okay, so repository also a protocol. So from that repository we are going to create the same method what we are going to use, and then we are going to process all those things. Okay, so we'll create a file, same protocol, create. Okay, protocol, oh sorry, file name we need to give, right? Home repository. Okay, home repository function, the same, add nodes. Okay, this also async returns int 64. Okay, so here what is the difference between this repository and home data source, right? So data source, you will have an operation of one operation, insert, update, whatever the things what you are doing we have over here. But here the things which we are using in a UI layer, so we can have one, we have one insert only, but in UI side we have a lot of different type of inserts. Update, in here we have one updates, but in UI we have lot of different type of updates, so those functions we can add it over here. Okay, so in our case we are having the same functions only, so we don't have any additional operations in the UI side, the same insert, update only. So we are going to do that one only. Get nodes, async nodes. Okay, functions get completed nodes. Here nodes. Okay, so these are the functions what expected. Okay, good. So now we created a repository. In this repository we are going to create one repository implementation. Home repository implementation. Here class only, class home repository implementation. Okay, here we implement the home repository and import all the functions. It should come. Okay, so here like that implementation we took data from table, right? So here we are going to take private let home repository is equal to home repository import. Okay, from this, not this one, dot shared. Okay, home, not repository actually, sorry, home data source. Implement dot shared. Okay, so we are taking this home data source dot add node. Okay, two things we forgot. Return await. Okay, return await. So this will be like that. Yeah, this should be update node. This should be get all node. Okay, this should be get all completed nodes. Okay. Okay, so now the home repository is ready. So what we need to do, we have to create the same static function shared is equal to repository impl. Okay, home repository impl, we shared, we got it. So then now we are going to do we are going to write use cases with these things for every each use cases must be having all the each function have different separate classes of use cases. Okay, so first we will create file with add for add nodes, add node use case. So in this use case class add node use case, there is no extends, but we have to import let home repository shared funcs execute node is equal to the same node. Okay, same node. Then we are going to this also async function return int 64 return the home repository dot add node. Okay, await. Okay, so now this is done. I think mostly we can copy this one, everything will be same. So add nodes, another one file we will create. Use case. Okay, class update use case, same thing. Instead of this we have to update nodes. Okay, but we missed one thing. We are going to create the static function for everything. Static class shared is equal to update use case. Okay, same thing for add nodes. Okay, same thing for get also. Okay, so what is it file nodes use case get all nodes use case get all nodes. We don't need this. Okay, fine. So now we are having get all nodes. This return will be nodes. Good. Okay, same, we'll just copy and do it over here. Get use case. Okay, we are having this one, request it, all completed nodes. Okay, so we created all the use cases and we created all the use cases standalone classes. So now we are going to implement these use cases in our view model directly. So where is our view model? Is that we having a view model? We created I think we didn't created a view model, so we'll just create a view model. First of all, home view model. So once we created a home view model, okay, home view model should be a observable object, so then only we can observe this one in our class. Okay, so inside this observable class we have two publishers. So the main publisher is, we have a tool list in our UI, if you can see in our home screen. If you see in our let me start. If you see in the home screen, you can see two lists. One is this one is two one. So we have a two publisher. One is uh, ta task and another one is completed task. Okay, so in our case we have a notes, right? So we can have that one as notes also. At publisher where notes list notes is equal to notes publisher where list nodes is equal to nodes. Okay, so the two publishers, and we are going to add our use cases below, or we can add it above also, that will be good. Private let add use case add node use case dot shared. Okay, so the same thing we can do it for multiple things. Update node use case, get use case get completed node use case completed node use case. Okay, so 4 things we added, 4 things we are here. So with this one we can add, with this one we can update, with this one we can get, and with this one we can this one. So all things are done, and we have a not in before init class we will create normal things to get the datas. Private function get list. Okay, so we are using async, right? So in shift we have a task, we have to use a task, and it will be easy to dispose task. Okay, task, inside task we are going to priority should be background. This operations, the operations and all, whatever the operation we are going to do is let list is equal to await dot await, not await dot await get completed task use case dot execute. The list will come here. Then we need to update the observable. So the thing is, we need to update the observable from a background thread. We can't update the observable actually from the backend thread, so we need to use the dispatch queue dot main dot async. Okay, dispatch queue dot main dot async. In this async we need to add node list is equal to list. Okay, so this will work as expected. Let's see what we self. Okay, yeah, so we created get node list, so we have to create the same pattern for this one to get completed node list here. Okay, this is correct actually. This is, we need to get all node use case. Okay, execute this one, also execute this one, will be completed node list. Okay, so this is fine. So we have two things. Now it should be executed. This one, it should be executed in the initial stage. Self dot get node list, self dot get completed node list. Okay, so because we are taking, this is await task, so this await task should be handled inside the task, but we can't do this await task inside the main thread, so we are doing this outside, and after getting the results we are updating in the main thread. Okay, So this is the process of getting, and this one, and we can add one more private function for add note. Also this will be notes. Okay, here same thing, we can do it for task. Priority. Okay, priority should be background only. So here we don't want to do that dispatch or something. Note id is equal to add note use case dot execute note. Okay, so if once it is added, we need to call the get note list, because the added list will be need to reflect here. Here. Okay, so this is for add and this is for update. Okay, so update also we have to do the same process, but we don't want to call, we want to call both things when updating. Completed note list. Okay, so here update node use case. Okay, so fine, good. So all good over here. Then we need to have action function, actually the event function here. In this here function we need to have home event. So for that we need to create a event enum actually. Okay, it's not a protocol, so we can create inside the presentation file. Okay, home events. Okay, home events. So home events is a enum home events case add task case update task. Okay, notes. Okay, so this is good, I think. Okay, yeah, home enum. So in this view model, this parameter should be, what is this? This is same like event, which event is home events. Okay, switch, we are going to use switch case. In switch case, event case dot add note, not this one, let note. Okay, here self dot add note, this note. Okay, then case completed note where note. Okay, self dot up, not this one, updated note. Okay, so we need to create one more event also. Actually update task instead of update task, complete note. Not complete note. Okay, both are same. Okay, here we have to add case dot complete node not complete node. Okay, so the same thing, where is it? We're going to add it over here, but only thing we are going to change node dot not completed node completed should be 1 because it is we are completing the task. Here it is 0 because we are not completing the task. Okay, so this is great. Then we will go to home screen now. Okay, we came into a home screen. We just implement this, and if once it is implemented, everything is done. That's it, our things are done. Let's wait for the preview to load. It will be easy. Okay, good. So we need to take state object private var home view model is equal to home view model. Okay, there is no parameter in home view model, so it's fine to have this. Okay, so home view model. So once the home view model is there, we need to add it in a list. But before the list, what we have to do is we have to if home view model dot node list dot count greater than 0 else. Okay, so if it is greater than 0, we need to show the list, otherwise we are going to show color dot clear. Okay, so this is fine. Once it is there, instead of this item we need to add this one. Okay, so you have to note it down as like this. This will give error if you didn't add the identifier and hashable. You didn't extend the class with identifier and notable. Okay, like this, identifiable and notable. It will give an error in your for each. Okay, so this is done, and task we are going to send this. Okay, unchecked home view model dot event, so that should be a public function. Where is it? Home view model will take. Okay, it's a public function only. It's not init actually, it should be home. Something we missed over here. Okay, oh, that's bad. Home view model variable, not a class that event. So this event will be home event dot which one is it? Is check notes. Okay, this on check should be check notes. Note will be this task actually, so we can pass the task directly. We'll go here. Okay, on click item, we are not going to use on click item, only this check mark. Okay, so the check is done. It will be done, then I'll click, we'll take this one, and this also should be the same way. If home view model dot completed list dot count greater than 0, it needs to show this, otherwise color dot white. Okay, okay, frame height. Okay, leave it. Okay, so now it is good, and this is a different one. Okay, this instead of this slide home view model, not this one. Home view model dot completed list. Okay, so completed list, here the same thing, event home event dot not completed task. So this should be not completed. Okay, let's run and check this application. Okay, let's run and check this one once. I'll run and let you know. Yeah, so our application is running. Let's start. Add one note. Good. I added a node, but it didn't reflect in here. Let's check why it is not added. First of all, we can directly go to the database section, and in the note, in the insert, we can add it. Okay, so actually we didn't add that's what we didn't implement the add, right? So it should be in a dialog. Where is it? We didn't add a event for add dialog, so dismiss we added, so this is the add one, right? So home view model dot event home event dot add nodes. Okay, add nodes should be note model. Okay, now I'll run this application. Now we can see everything clearly. Okay, let me run once in my device. So I'll populate the device over here. I think we can't. Okay, it's coming in a debug mode. Then now we can see it is working fine. Yeah, one index added already. So let's see, it is reflecting in a UI. Yeah, it came, but it's coming as a 2 time. We need to check. It is coming 2 times. Let's see. Let me show. I'll try to run an emulator once. Yeah, I'll show it in my Mac actually, so we can run it in the Mac itself. So this is a task, so when we are clicking, it will go there. Okay, so we can add new tasks. I click, it is adding. Okay, so when we are seeing, so the tick mark on small correction we need to add. So in the first list we don't want to be checked, so this is completed list should be checked, this list should not be checked. Okay, so we don't want to check. So actually we can run our application which we are, if it is supported for Mac is supported for that one, means you can run the application directly in your application. The frame size only, we can fix the frame size also to preview that. Okay, so based on that I'll just run it now. We can see. So overview of this, we have a presentation layer. In this presentation layer we have a one screen and two screen. One is launch screen, another one is home screen, and we have a dialog. So 3 things only. We are adding a task, and we are checking as the task as a completed and not completed. So now it should be completed. Okay, so we can add more tasks. Groceries, or just added. Okay, if I add the groceries, I will add it over here. Okay, so this is our application. In mobile you can see it very simply in the same screen. It is fine, you can it's working as expected. So where you can download your SQL database, right? So you go to your Windows, and device and stimulators. You can select the device which over here. So in my case we can't find the Mac, I think. Okay, so if you have find it over here, the installed device you can find. Let me check. Let me unplug my device and let me show you. So here you can see the things. Okay, so if you click this one and if you click the menu, you can see the show container and download container and replace container. So it will, if you download this container, it will give you, I already downloaded, so I will show you. Okay, it will give you the file like, see this. So you can right click and open like this, show package content. So once you open like this, it will show like this. Inside the document you can find your database. Okay, this is our database. So if I double click this, it will open in a SQL DB. Then you can alter and say replace the DB in this one, and you can replace it over here using this one. Replace container means it will replace your DB database. If you have any more data, so you need to insert like that. So here is it. If you go to browse, you can task, inside task you have all the task data detailed in this one. Like this you can view your whatever you enter those. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I think the full playlist is done. I'll upload more playlist like this kind of applications in further videos. Okay, yeah, thank you.